And we're back to Access. Welcome back. I'm Ken.
I'm Nicole.
And today we're going to be doing Proverbs. Proverbs. Everyone at this church makes fun of me for saying everything's my favorite. That, you know, every gospel, I think I've said so far, Mark's my favorite, Matthew's my favorite. Everyone makes fun of me for having favorites. So I like to point out when a book is not my favorite. Everyone stops watching now. Proverbs is not my favorite book. Though I have come to appreciate it and really love it over time. Nicole, do you have any feelings about Proverbs?
I feel like out of all of the wisdom books,
it's not your favorite.
it's not my favorite.
I know it.
And it's not that there's any, I don't have any thing personally against Proverbs. It's just that the other ones are so much more dynamic, I think. Whereas Proverbs is do this, not that.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. I feel like it's a collection of fortune cookies.
No, that's actually a great way to talk about a proverb is a genre, and a proverb is simply a short maxim.
Proverbial wisdom.
Proverbial wisdom. So Ben Franklin, we love Americans love proverbs. Where early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy and wise.
Wealthy and
wise. Yeah, we love these pithy little phrases that we sort of think sum up all of life. And part of why we like these phrases is they're a little true.
Yes. Like there is wisdom in there.
Going to bed early, getting up early, it is a good way to be productive.
I've been doing that this summer.
How's it going for you?
Well, I'm amazed at how many hours of daylight there are.
Oh.
It goes on forever.
As one with small children at the moment, I love summer and I hate summer because the
kids
sun,
are up.
Oh man, the sun goes down like at 10:30 and it comes up at 5 in the morning and they get up with the sun.
Yeah.
You try putting down the 2-year-old and the 5-year-old telling them it's night time. And
it's sun. I'm totally messed up because of it.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm a 5-year-old according to my sleep schedule because I wake up at 5 every morning now.
Good times.
That is not.
So it's a book full, not totally full, but full of a lot of short, pithy phrases and maxims that are often good.
Yeah. Oftentimes there seems to be no distinction between chapters. Like, there's no stories, and it's just like one saying after another. Like, there's not really new themes.
There are sections, and we've given you in the outline that there are sections, but Nicole's right, there's no story to Proverbs. So it's hard to...
It really feels like, just like words of wisdom from your grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which is the setup is a father talking to his son. Mm-hmm. It's attributed to Solomon. David gets the Psalms, and poor Solomon, because of Solomon's wisdom, is attributed with the Proverbs. We're not really sure.
But he gets 2 other books attributed to him too.
And they're very different.
Which are his.
It's true. So Solomon gets some of these. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say, the thing that is most frustrating to me about the Proverbs is if you want to find a book if you want to justify something, if you want to say, this is my opinion and it's right, and I want the Bible to back it up, Proverbs is the book for you because you can go to it and you can find something.
This is like the cherry picking book.
And you can rip it out.
Like trump card.
I had this experience in college.
So frustrating.
Well, and I was trying to argue for some things, and there was this person, Anwan, in my opposition, who kept getting after me, and every time he would disagree with something I said, he would say, "Lean not on thy own understanding. Lean not on thy own understanding," which is in Proverbs. And I was like, what? And he says, "You're leaning on your own understanding." I'm like, "But that's my opinion." He's like, "Right, it's your opinion." I'm like, "But it's your opinion that I'm wrong. You're leaning on your own." He says, "No, I'm leaning on the Bible." And I'm like,
oh my gosh,
and that was my first experience with Proverbs, where it was being used kind of as a weapon of sorts against me.
And we had crazy preachers come to our campus in college, like the guy with the sandwich board and the beard who
They-
tells everyone that they're going to hell, gives a bad name to all Christians. Stop doing it if you're one of those people.
Sandwich man? Stop it.
Stop it. But he would say, like, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, so you need to be scared.
Which is kind of the first part.
Yeah.
And actually, I mean, thematically, I think that's the most important theme, maybe in Proverbs. Fear of the Lord is the beginning to wisdom. The important thing you need to know is the word fear here is not,
It's not, I'm afraid you're going to hit me, God.
It's awe. Fear is, it's wonder, it's awe. It's the sense that God is so vastly much more.
It's going back to that last portion of Job, of really understanding God is God, and we are us. And we're not the same thing.
And the world is so much bigger, so much vaster. And Proverbs is absolutely right that when you're narrow and you're just trying to justify your position, that is not wisdom.
No.
Wisdom is when you go, oh,
there's more.
I wonder what's possible. And you realize how much there is to know. And that I think is a good theme for the book.
Bad for cherry picking, though.
Oh, and you were going to talk about more themes. Is there more that you wanted to say about Proverbs thematically?
Thematically?
Yeah.
Is this where we talk about gender?
We could. We were going to do history, themes, and 3 stories. You want to talk about just move into the stories?
Let's just move into the stories.
All right.
Because we'll hit some of the other themes in the stories.
Yeah. The thing that I love most about Proverbs, and that frankly shocked me the most, is there is an ancient wisdom tradition. It was Middle Eastern, but the Hebrew people kind of pick it up. And wisdom is not just a title or a genre. Wisdom is actually a proper name in these books. Wisdom is a person. And in this case, her name is Chokmah, and in Greek, her name is Sophia. And what these people did is they personified wisdom. And if you think about the Greeks, they would have the muses, like Calliope, and they would think of a virtue, and they would kind of personify it into a person. And that's what you have. And wisdom in the book of Proverbs actually speaks and talks, and she's fascinating. I'll just read 8:22. This is wisdom talking about her own creation. So 8:22. The Lord created me at the beginning of His word, the first of His acts of long ago. The Lord created me, the first of His acts of long ago. It is no mistake that the Christian tradition, Jesus in Matthew will call Himself wisdom. He'll use that word to refer to Himself. There's this tradition of the kind of the firstborn. Is it wisdom? And then Jesus is sort of tying into this tradition. Ages ago, I was set up at the first, before the beginning of the earth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. Where there were no springs abounding with water, before the mountains had been shaped, before the hills, I was brought forth. When He had not yet made the earth and fields or the world's first bits of soil, when He established the heavens, I was there. And when He drew a circle on the face of the deep, when He made firm the skies above. She keeps going on and on. She was the one almost co-creating wisdom, or the earth, with God. And so there's this high view of wisdom, and there's the sense of how the earth appears to have, creation appears to have order, and a kind of logic and a rhythm underneath it. And the Hebrews said, yes, because wisdom was there from the very beginning. And just as wisdom orders the world, wisdom can order our lives. So it's a deeply valuing, there's a deep value to the feminine in this Hebrew tradition. Not only is the Holy Spirit ruach, which is the feminine word for spirit or breath, but wisdom is chokmah. She's a she.
Right. Yeah, much so, like unambiguously female.
But unfortunately, just as there is this amazingly positive depiction of the feminine, Nicole's going to talk to us about kind of this really unfortunate depiction of woman, the opposite of woman wisdom, or the loose woman in chapter 5.
In chapter 5?
Yeah, I think it's 5.
Sorry. Chapter I went.
Yes, for the lips of a loose woman drip honey.